Welcome to On Your Side, the Home Edition. I'm Susan Campbell. Today we're taking you to a home with spectacular views in one of Scottsdale's most prestigious neighborhoods, Ancala. Plus, the median home price in the valley is about $500,000. We'll see what that gets you in Goodyear. But first, how can you tell if a recent home renovation is a good one? I talked with Valley real estate agent Trevor Halpern. Trevor, thank you so much for having us here to this beautiful listing, $1.3 million listing.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for showing up and being here.
There's a lot to know for buyers and sellers. We want to make sure people are prepared. We want to talk about the things we can do to get the house ready to go. Why is it so important to prep a house?
It is so important to prep a house for that first impression. You only get one chance to make a first impression, so making sure that your home as a seller shines in the eye of the buyer from that first drive-by to walking into the home, it's critically important that your home shows as well as it can. Put on your nice coat or dress and be prepared for that buyer coming through the door.
Okay, so we have to jump in because this house is immaculate. Everything is staged perfectly. Sellers have moved out. You've gotten everything in, ready to go. What does it take to get a house like this ready to go so buyers are impressed when they walked in?
Yeah, it almost takes like a mini general contractor's license. You have to line up vendors. You have to come in and assess it, right? My job, I come in and take a walk with the sellers and I suggest things to them. So my suggestions are based on really two things. If you put $1 in, can you make $1.10 out of it? And if you do it, will you sell your home faster? And if we get both of those things accomplished, I suggest they do it because it is a financial benefit to them doing so. So once we have the suggestions, then we turn to whether or not they're going to do all of the suggestions. And whatever they pick and choose, we have vendors that we schedule and bring in and do it. So we're very methodical. So we can take something like this that doesn't need walls moved and whatever, we can have it market ready in about 2 weeks.
It's still a pretty big process though, and lots of decision making along the way.
Yep. Yeah, it's intensive for sellers. We try to take the intensity out of it, but the intensive nature of it is, hey, do we want to invest the money? Are we going to get a return? What's going to happen if we don't do it? So I present all of the data to my clients and I allow them to make their decision. Whatever they decide to do, we execute accordingly.
Okay, so a buyer walks in. What's the first thing they're going to notice if it's something that maybe not worth it?
Yeah, oftentimes buyers walk in and they start seeing immediately dirt. If it's not cleaned, if the front door has scuffs on it, we'll oftentimes ask our sellers to take care of that. Hey, let's clean it off, let's repaint it. Because that first impression, you're walking up. Even before that, from sidewalk up, what's the curb appeal? Are the plants dead? Is it well manicured? Are there leaves everywhere? Does the home look like it is well maintained, even if the sellers aren't living here? Those are the important things. You get one chance to make a first impression. That first impression is often right before you walk through the door.
Okay, second impression. We have walked through the front door.
Yep.
I'm looking around.
Yep.
What else might a buyer spot that you have to warn your sellers to handle?
Yeah, one of the key things is when buyers walk in and they sense other people have lived here, even though they know it. But let's say you had kids in the home and there are footprints on the baseboards or the walls are scuffed. A fresh coat of paint goes a long way to eliminating, other people's germs, right? So when you walk in and you smell fresh paint and you see it, as a buyer, it triggers more often than not subliminal rather than actual thoughts of cleanliness and this being a blank slate. So paint is one of the key low-hanging fruits that you as a seller can do to your home to freshen it up and present a clean palette for a buyer.
Okay, we're gonna do paint. We're gonna spend a little money because it's not super cheap, but it is affordable in the process. What else can we do to kind of freshen everything up and make it feel like maybe we didn't live there?
Yeah, the paint, sometimes carpet. Carpet, if you have carpet in the home, you're gonna have wear marks, you're gonna have wear tracks, you're gonna have that time where, maybe you spilled something on the carpet around where you watch TV, right? Food, you have kids. Or,
have you been to my house?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Sure. Kids, or maybe a glass of wine, I don't know.
All the above.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes you're gonna have stains on the carpet or you're gonna have wear marks. So it's good to analyze and go, can we get these cleaned? If we clean these carpets, will they look new and fresh? And will people see that fresh carpet pull? That, again, subliminal activation for a buyer that, hey, this place is clean and ready to go. Or does the carpet need to be replaced? Those two things, paint, carpet, and then flooring. If the flooring is scuffed, if you have wood floor, if you have tile, When you really freshen it up, deep clean the grout, those types of things, again, will brighten things, it'll clean things up, it eliminates the subliminal idea of wear and tear, or the actual idea, like, you know, some buyers walk in and just start picking things out. So if they're pointing to a bunch of stuff, I would say it's a series of small things that add up to a big thing. So what are the small things that you can eliminate, so in the buyer's mind, they don't walk out and go, I don't know what it is about that house, but I don't like it. We want them to walk out and go, I don't know what it is about that house, but man, I like it.
Can I tell you my secret thing?
Yeah.
I've looked at a lot of houses over the years because we've moved a bunch. My secret thing that I absolutely cannot handle, hate more than anything in the world, is opening up somebody else's refrigerator.
Yep.
If there is even like a speck of anything in there, ooh, I can't handle it.
Yes, yeah, well that's absolutely, when you, especially if the home is gonna be vacant. Obviously, if you're living there as a seller, when you're selling it,
you need a refrigerator.
Yeah, you're gonna have your Tabasco sauce and whatever in the fridge. But if your home is vacant and you are leaving the refrigerator there, absolutely key to clean that up. Absolutely key to clean up the pantry in the drawers. If you open a drawer and you see a bunch of filth in there, again, it's that gross factor. It's the, oh, someone else's germs are in here. So a nice deep clean of a house, whether it is staged, whether you're living there, or whether it's vacant, you really want those things cleaned. And like if you open up a pantry and you see the shelving is scuffed up and dirty, paint it. You know, the clean palette is the key to creating that either actual or subliminal positive reaction for a buyer.
Okay, so we have the first impression, we have the second impression. We've talked a little bit about the kitchen. Is there anything else in the kitchen that we should actually be spending some real money on to upgrade?
Yeah, you know, it can be a slippery slope, right? Sometimes you can go down the path and almost remodel the kitchen or remodel the house, and then you go, why are we leaving, right? So, you know, if you have countertops that are really, really old and you have the budget, sometimes a countertop replacement, it's way less expensive than you think, and it can go a long way to modernizing the kitchen. Sometimes you're gonna have older cabinets, you're gonna have an older facade to the cabinets. Sometimes you can paint them, and it brightens everything. It makes the home look 10 years newer. So when you paint them correctly, if you have if you slapdash it, or you have like a handyman that isn't well skilled at it, you need a painter who knows what material to apply and how to apply it, and it is almost not noticeable to a consumer that they're painted.
How about in bedrooms and bathrooms that are maybe connected to the bedroom area? What are things up there? Because I think that's kind of the last place that people see on a home tour or think about, or you feel like, I can handle that. That's a super easy renovation for the buyer coming in.
Yeah. One of the critical components, especially when we are looking, before we're hiring our photographer, we go back and look at what we took as like we call it our private reserve photos. When we're with the seller, like, hey, this isn't going public, this is just for us. We look at them and we look at shower curtains. A dingy shower curtain, or a shower curtain that is disconnected from maybe the new color palette because you painted, we want to take those down and we want to either just leave it depending on what's behind it, or we want to put a white shower curtain up. Just sterilize it, right? And then the other thing too is like,
a dingy shower curtain might be worse. That might actually be worse than a gross refrigerator to me. You just ruined.
Yeah, you just don't want it. It's someone else's mildew, right? It's someone else's like shampoo splatter. You don't want it. Yeah,
no.
Yeah. So there's a shower curtain in the bathrooms, and the other thing is on cabinets, and I mean on countertops, like a little potted plant. Whether it's, you go to IKEA and just get a fake one, there's something to it to have like one little knickknack. That what it does is it creates a feel of hominess to it, and it also takes away the sight line of just looking right at, hyper focusing on the countertop. Your eye almost skips over it because it just naturally feels like, oh, this is cute. So those types of things, without like remodeling a bathroom, change the shower curtain and just a little knickknack, just one cute little item that kind of takes the eye away from maybe a countertop that isn't ideal.
Let's flip this around. We've been talking from a seller's perspective. Now from a buyer's perspective, when we walk in the house, what are a couple telltale signs that this was an absolutely terrible renovation that I might need to like maybe move on to the next listing? They cheaped out here.
Yeah, there are so many. We can walk into homes as professionals and notice things right away. The fit and finish is what we're looking at. If we look up at, let's say, the can lights and they are not sealed to the ceiling, there's a gap, well, they cut a corner there. If we look down, if they have baseboards and they're not lined up right, if we're seeing paint slopped, if we're seeing drips of paint, if we're seeing in a kitchen, for example, I went in to a flip with clients, and this was an expensive one. It was $1 million plus flip. The countertops in the kitchen were misaligned. The seams on the stone were way off. The refrigerator was supposed to be set back and flush with the cabinets. It had panels on the front of it to match the cabinets. It stuck out by like 4 inches. Immediately, that as a professional triggers a discussion with my buyers that says, hey, the fit and finish on this thing doesn't look great. And if on the surface they couldn't get it right, what's under the surface?
What else? They never paid attention to the plumbing, the electrical.
Yep.
Flips aren't always bad.
Right.
But they could be a nightmare.
Yeah, they can. And you know what? As a lot of flippers don't think to that next phase. If you're coming in and you're flipping a home and you're doing it poorly and you're trying to not disclose what you did, well, if that seller moves, or if that buyer moves in and realizes there is so much stuff that was done here that was not done well, they may turn around and sue you. So as a flipper, it's a good idea to do your stuff right and to fully disclose what you did. And as a buyer, it is critically important that you take a really deep, hard look at the home before you submit an offer, and then you get a really, really good home inspection.
Trevor, you have given us so much good information to think about for both buyers and sellers. Thanks for having us to this beautiful listing.
Thank you.